Hello, everyone. Welcome to our YouTube series, Inside Deaf Mission, episode number 7. And it's a great pleasure for me this morning to introduce a very fine young man that I met many years ago. And not only he was resilient to be part of the program, but his journey into the tech industry has been a great delight to see, not only on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, and a yearly basis. So today we would like to welcome Eduardo Ramirez to our Inside Deaf Mission episode number 7. Eduardo, how you doing, my man?
Doing well, doing well. Just over here, trying to give back to Deaf Mission, the organization that has helped me so much in my journey.
Well, we want to thank you for being here today. I'm assuming you took some time off from work to be part of this conversation, and I'm glad that we're having this conversation as well. So thank you for being here today. How's the family doing?
Everybody's well. We're fully vaccinated now. We're still taking care of each other, of ourselves. Sorry. Um, just yeah, just living like day by day. There's nothing like there's not much that we can do right now during a pandemic, but hopefully things will like get better soon.
Awesome. You representing the San Francisco Giants. That's awesome. So look great. I like the hat. I like the headphones. I like the shirt. Man, you look so happy, and I'm so excited to not only get you to share this journey with our viewers out there. So let's get right into it because it's going to be a nice ride. So why don't we begin? And please tell the audience out there, which cohort did you graduate from?
I graduated from the 2018 fall cohort.
Can you tell the audience also, how did you hear about Dev Mission?
Yes, so it's really interesting. Like one of the things that I love to do is getting a haircut like every 2 weeks. So there's this one day that I went to go get a haircut, and then I met this guy. He was getting his haircut, and I was just waiting for my turn. And then he like randomly asked me where was I working at, and I told him I was working in the physical security field. And he asked me if I was interested in tech, and at that time, like it never crossed my mind to like work in tech or anything. Uh, I wasn't going to college just because I became a parent at a very young age. So and like my goal was to just grow within the physical security field. And then he started talking about that he had a friend, which is you, um, that it was like he had an organization, a nonprofit organization that teaches like young people a little bit about tech and preps them to get into that field if that's something that I was interested in. And at first, I did check out the website. I remember I was talking to my wife about it, and I was really excited at first, but then for some reason I didn't end up joining until like a few months after. Um, and it wasn't until like I started meeting people at the building where I was working at. Um, they were working in IT, and then they were talking to me about it, and they told me that it wasn't that hard to get into, but you actually needed some background in tech, which I didn't have. And that's when I decided, I'm gonna join the program and just see where it ends up taking me. And so yeah, that's when I joined, and that's how I heard about Deaf Mission.
Man, that's awesome. I'm not going to bring the barber name, but I think I know who he is. And I think we should definitely have a conversation one day about that young man, because if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, he was part of a program as well that I used to run back in the day. So I'm
Oh,
not sure,
really?
but we'll definitely catch up on that.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, what a great story, right? To share how young people can access all these resources that are available to them for free. And that's really the idea behind the work that we're trying to do with our organization. So, Eduardo, can you please tell the audience also, are you currently in school? Are you working? If you are, what is your position or your current role right now and where you're working at?
Yeah. So I'm not currently going to school, like I mentioned before. school is like, I love school. I love studying and everything, but unfortunately, after I became a parent at 17 years old, I just started working full time, and I know that it's I know that it's not impossible for me to go back to college, but like for me personally, it's like very difficult to do three things at the same time. Like being a parent, working full time, and then still going to school. It's just like I thought, I don't know. It wasn't for me. Um, but I am currently working in the IT field now at Udacity, as an IT logistics specialist. And this happened after I did a 6-month apprenticeship at Postmates that Deaf Mission helped me with.
Man, that's a fancy title. Congratulations on your journey, on your promotion, especially after being part of our organization pre-apprenticeship program funded by TechSF and OEWD. And I know the team over there helped you secure the apprenticeship as well. And so excited to see this journey, right? That it's just beginning to flourish within a very productive IT career down the road. So thank you for sharing that.
Mhm.
So now, Eduardo, why don't we go back and kind of share a little bit of how this organization, Dev Mission, prepare you at that time for a career in the tech industry. So how, the program did help you prepare for this journey, which sometimes could be challenging for a lot of young people.
Right. Yeah. So after I completed the program, um, my plan was to get into IT at the building where I was working at, but it didn't happen, and I went through some really difficult times at that time. Um, all caused by one of the biggest mistakes in my life. As a few people including yourself, like I went from losing the job that I currently had at that time, to like working in a different field that I wasn't comfortable with, and I went to like getting hurt at the job, and potentially I could have lost the good things that I had at that time, um, or like putting my domestic partnership at risk. Um, so yeah, after that, I went back to Deaf Mission, and I spoke to you, and I like you know I like explained what I was going through, and I was basically asking for help, using my resources, and I was like lucky enough that you gave me an internship, uh, at that mission it was for about 3 months, and I remember that you were talking about like uh, that there were going to be opportunities coming up, like for apprenticeships, at different companies. I didn't really get excited at that time, just because I didn't think I was ready. I thought it was gonna take much longer, but then it started getting real until I started interviewing for different companies. I obviously didn't get accepted to most of them, because I didn't have much experience, and probably I didn't interview well. But I was lucky enough to get the one at Postmates, which it was for 6 months. After that, Deaf Mission was always in the background, just supporting us, because it was me and another friend from the same cohort that was in, and constantly just checking in with us on how everything was going. Um, so yeah, Deaf Mission was always there supporting me.
Wow, that's deep. That's the reason why we do this kind of interviews with young people that have graduated from the program. I call it a tech hustle, right? And that's
Mhm.
really the reality. You know you got the skills, you got the opportunities, you got the resources, and sometimes all it takes is just ask and show up. And you did that. And I still remember that conversation, man. We were in that little room full of
Yeah,
computers, and I
I
say,
know.
well, I need someone to come and work on this on computers. And you're like, I can do that. And then I brought another intern named Alex Picado who worked
Hmm.
with you, and you guys were working
Right.
and
Yeah.
piling computers. Oh man, that was
And who would have
awesome. And
thought?
I remember,
Yeah. Who would have thought that that's what I was gonna end up doing?
but again, right, it goes back to the resources and the supportive approach that this organization offers to these young people. So whoever young person is out there trying to figure out how to pursue a career in tech, you got a young man here that's really giving you those tip and pointers. So I hope you're engaged in this conversation because we're just barely starting mixing up some of the ingredients for success. So Eduardo, can you please also tell the audience, you mentioned a little bit about some of the opportunities that Dev Mission help you after the program, but why don't you go a little bit deeper in respect of what those career opportunities meant for you at that time, and how did you um, overcome, some of those challenges that you were having during the time of those interviews?
uh, Obviously, I think um, I think the way that definition helped was just by because I know that you have a lot of contacts and they reach out to you whenever they're hiring. So just just the fact that you like gave us that opportunity, that like I mentioned, I probably didn't do well in most of the interviews, but the good thing is that that helped me uh, so I could practice. The more that I practiced, the more that I was getting better, the more that I was like, oh, this is what I like, this is what I didn't like. So um, uh, yeah, and like in that sense, I think um, referring us, for those interviews is like a huge help.
Great. Thank you for sharing that as well. And the key point that you mentioned is all about practice, right? And making sure that you practice and you were able to do that through the journey. And that's important for young people, right? Not to give up. The tech industry is very competitive, but at the same time, if you persevere, things come for those who wait. And you're one of those right now. So great. Thank you for sharing
Yeah,
that.
and I actually
Um,
wanted to sorry, I
that's
actually
okay.
wanted to add one more thing to that. Like I know that we're talking about practice, and one, believe it or not, one of the funny things that happened to me is that when I recently got this job, I interviewed, and one of the reasons why I was able to get the job is because I follow one of the uh, things that I was taught at Deaf Mission when I did my cohort, um, was that after an interview you're always supposed to email whoever interviewed you at like in less than 24 hours, within those 24 hours. So I did that, and that was one of the things that was brought up when I was told that I got the job. Like none of the other candidates did that. It was just me. So I was really surprised.
That is so exciting to hear. And it's just a simple step, right? That you're thanking
Right.
an employer to take time away from their busy schedule.
Hmm.
And you did that, right? I'm pretty sure that happened to the training. And of course, big kudos to your lead instructor, Ivan Hurtado, who's probably watching this interview because he's the one that taught you all the skills. So, man, that's
Right.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's so awesome to hear that. So now let's go into a little bit more about your like professional goals. And I think that during this Inside Dev Mission series, we asked all these graduates and alumni that what kind of goal they had coming to Dev Mission, and if you believe that they were able to accomplish that goal. So you kind of mentioned at the beginning of the interview that you were interested in IT, but our program goes beyond IT, right? We teach Internet of Things, we teach programming skills, we teach IT essentials, critical career skills. We expose you to corporate site visits. We also get, guest speakers. You get a mentor. All these wonderful resources, right? You get a laptop, a stipend, and all this wonderful, swag that we can provide you. But
Hmm.
away from that, the goal that you had on mind coming to Dev Mission, I want the audience to hear what was that goal, and throughout that process, did you achieve that goal after you graduated from Dev Mission?
So I would say yes and no. When I first joined the program, my goal was to get a job in IT. I didn't even know like what specifically in IT, but I just wanted to get a job in IT at the building where I was working at, because that's like the only place that I knew people, you know. So that was my goal initially. After doing all the after completing the program, I knew for sure that I didn't really want to get into like cybersecurity or engineering, just because I think that that requires more like education, and you know, like you obviously have to like join these other programs or complete these other courses, and I just wanted something fast, I would say. So that's why I got interested in IT, and obviously, like I didn't accomplish my goal when I completed the program. Um, but then I did actually complete my goal after I completed my internship at Def Mission, and that's when I was able to get the apprenticeship at Postmates, and then from there, just like everything like was so quick. Like I went through, I was able to like experience a lot of things while doing the apprenticeship. You know, like I got converted. I was able to meet like these other people. I we went through like what do you call it? Uh, we got like the company Postmates was acquired by Uber, so you know I never expected that. Uh, I think that if that had not happened, like if that wouldn't have happened, I would probably still be working at Postmates. But then since that happened, I obviously had to look like for a new job, because um my job wasn't secured anymore. So yeah, like I don't know. I went through a lot of things, but obviously things that potentially helped me. Um, yeah.
Wow, that is a great not only story but a great example of how young people need to continue to persevere. And when I look at yourself and when I look at the relationship that you and I have from the working relationship perspective, is that I always have seen that approach from you, right? And we have many conversations, we have many lunches, because correct me if I'm wrong, I was your mentor at that time, and it was really exciting to kind of get to know where you wanted to be and the different challenges you face. But along the way, you were able to overcome those obstacles and challenges. And I think that that is really the caveat that you bring to a position within the tech industry. So I'm so excited to hear more down the road where you're going to end up, because I know the future is bright for you within the IT field. So excited that you got accomplished, even if it was a little later than the program. Well, the opportunity was there. It's just a matter of time to make sure that it happens. So
Right.
great journey, great journey. Awesome. So now we're getting into like what is really what you feel in your heart about this organization, because we have trained close to 200 young people since we started 4 years ago, and we're barely getting to know where everybody's at after all this wonderful journey they have achieved. So can you tell the audience in 3 words, if you can, if you have three, that more than three, that's fine. Uh, 3 words that would you use to describe your overall experience at Dev Mission, from the minute you walk into that door to the day you got a job at Postmates, and even on top of that, being an alumni to support some of the work that we're doing. So take it away. 3 words is the minimum. I don't know how many words you want to share, but just share to the audience.
Man. I guess the first one will be very welcoming. Um, uh, Incredible. Like I have so many words on inspiring, remarkable. It's just I don't know. I just feel like the mission was like a second chance to me. Like I mentioned it. I mentioned before that I went through a rough time like after I completed the program. So that for me was like a second chance, you know, to do good in life and just like taking advantage of the opportunities that were there and using my resources. But yeah.
Nice. That was powerful. That was powerful. Thank you for sharing that. And I just love the first one, right? Welcoming. We welcome all the young
Yeah.
people that want to be exposed to STEM careers, and you were part of that. So so excited to hear that. Thank you. Um, Eduardo, can you please also tell us what was the most memorable moment that you can remember of your time being at Deaf Mission? Whatever it was, just share it with the audience.
Hmm. Oh, okay, here's a good one. Like I don't know about other programs, and I'm probably jumping into like the next question, but um, I don't know about other programs, but like in my experience at Deaf Mission, I just love that if you show that you were actually interested in tech and you wanted to do something about it, you know, you would Deaf Mission like they would expose you to things that you probably haven't done in the past. Like for me, for example, I was exposed to going to these events to talk about my story, and and there was a couple of times that I went to uh, I went to talk about my story so that we could obtain a grant from other organizations. So I don't know. Just doing all that just kind of helped me in a way because I was a very quiet and shy person, and I also like um, I had so much anxiety whenever it came to like these situations like public speaking. So just definition putting me in that spot, you know, it was like uh, I guess it was like a good thing because I would have never known that I could have done that, you know.
Man, that was a very memorable night. You, as a matter of fact, went to two
Hmm.
fundraising
Yeah,
events, and they were part of the Latino Community Foundation. One was for the Men's Giving Circle, and that's when you were part of the program.
yeah,
And
exactly.
then we took you to the Latinos in Tech Giving Circle
Hmm.
as you graduated, you were working at Postmates. So big shout out to the Latino Community Foundation if they're watching this video. And here's again, right, the reason why they gave us the grant, because someone like you took an interest, and now here you are sharing your story with the whole world. Man, that's powerful. So now let's go into kind of like the end of the interview. We're getting close to that final stretch, but these are like the most exciting questions that I have for you, even though all of them have been awesome for you to answer. Here's the big one. Young people are thinking about what journey they want to take, right? What should they do after high school, after college, or even try to do something they have never tried before. So can you please give an advice to young people that wants to get into tech but doesn't know where to start?
Okay. I would say that Deaf Mission is a very um, it's a very good opportunity if you're interested in tech, just because it's short, like it's 3 months, you know, and but you actually get to experience like a lot of different fields, I would say. Like for example, in my experience, like I mentioned that I wasn't interested in like the coding because first of all it was really difficult to understand for me. Um, um, so yeah, like uh, doing all those different courses within the program just like helps you figure out if that's something that you want to pursue or if that's something that you're interested in.
So let's get into now, not just the advice, right, for young people to pursue those opportunities, but now is the journey, right? Here we are. You graduated from the fall 2018 cohort. We're in 2021. Pandemic just happened a year ago, and this new environment for everyone to work remotely from home and adjust and adapt has been challenging for a lot of young people. But regardless of that, it's already almost 3 years since we
Hmm.
got to see each other being in the classroom and doing amazing work and being part of the internship. And we're getting to that point. But it's always good to ask young people, where do they see themselves, right? Years from now. And I want to ask that question to you because I just cannot wait for the answer. So where is Eduardo going to be 5 years from now?
Oof. Uh, that's actually a very hard question. Like, I don't know. It's always hard for me to answer these type of questions just because I guess I don't plan like that far along, you know.
Mhm.
Um, I just know that as of now, like I want to stick to IT. Uh, Obviously, I want to do very well and in whatever position I'm at. Like when I was a Postmates, I was the help desk technician, and I know that it was for like an entry level position, and at some point it got to the point where you would ask yourself like, what's next? And that's when I started showing that I want to do like more. So that's when I got the the position as the logistics specialist, you would say. So I never actually got the title at Postmates, but that's what I was doing. And right now that I'm in the actual role and title, um, I guess the next thing would be for me to learn more about like the systems administration. So I think that's where I want to go next. And after that, there's many things that you can do. Like you can become a lead, a manager, and whatnot. So that's my goal for as of now.
Man, that was a beautiful answer. See, I told you had already set it up. So that's exciting to hear. And I always come out of the cuts with these interviews with questions that I believe are away from the script. And I want to ask you, do you believe in certifications, Eduardo? And what do you think about certifications when it comes down to the IT field?
I think that they're very valuable. I know that specifically for people like me that didn't that are not going to college, certificates are are a really good thing. And I do plan on taking some certifications that will help me in IT, specifically for becoming a systems administration. I know that you gotta know more about networking, so yeah, I do believe in them.
Nice. That's great to hear because I want young people to understand that you need experience, projects, and certifications, right? Those three need to come together. And what a great journey for you to start realizing that you're getting to the beyond the entry level and now you're thinking ahead of what other opportunities will be in the horizon for you. So man, if any tech companies watching, I don't know, you're gonna have to take away Eduardo from Udacity, but I think he's very happy there right now. But you never know, a year from now, there might be another series where we're gonna find out where you are.
Right.
So really, really exciting. All right. So as we wrap up this interview, I wanna ask you that you can also give some not just advice to the young people, but if anybody's interested to join this organization and become part of the journey that you just shared with them today, what would be if one thing you can share with the audience about Dev Mission, what would that be?
I would say just if you're still unsure of if you want to get into tech, uh, I would say just join that mission. Actually do everything. Just don't do it just because. Actually go there with a purpose. I know that people sometimes might think that they want to get into tech, but then they end up realizing that they don't want that. That it's not for them. Because I personally felt like that at first. I wasn't unsure if that's something I wanted, and just I guess just be honest to yourself. Uh, like for me personally, uh, like when I finished, like when I completed the program, I didn't really know if I wanted to, continue going to school, because I know that other peers from that cohort, their plan was to going back to school. As I mentioned, um, that wasn't really for me, so I just had to be honest with myself, and just trying to look for a different route. Um, so yeah, my advice is just my advice for you is just to like try it out. If you don't like it, at least you tried it. Now you know. But yeah, always be truthful to yourself.
Man, I love that. That's how you end up an interview. But it's been a great pleasure to be talking to you today. Please continue to share your journey with us. You are part of the organization, you're part of the family, you're part of the community. And we just want to thank you for being here today, being part of the Inside Dev Mission Series number 7. Any final words before we cut the recording button and
Yeah.
we continue to do amazing stuff?
No, I think I said it all.
All right. Well,
Thank you.
thank you
Thank you
very
so much,
much,
Leo.
Eduardo. No,
No,
thank you
thank
for
you.
being here with us.